Welcome to the pod. Welcome to Brian's World. I am your humble, grateful, gracious host, Brian B. Shynin. And I want to thank you for tapping in, taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to the pod. Shout out to Foolish Club Media. Make sure you tap in and rate, subscribe, and review on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Season 2 of Brian's World. I don't know if it's officially seasons in podcasts. I don't know if they have those actually, but damn it, I'm declaring this season 2 of Brian's World because we're doing a little different. Got the video cracking for you. I know you just get tired of hearing me. Maybe you want to see me too. Maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. Depending on what you like. But yeah, going to be tackling a variety of subjects, not just Chiefs and NFL in this season of Brian's World, but I am still going to tackle the Chiefs, pun intended. And just take a look at where the Chiefs are. Take a look at the draft coming up. What do I want the Chiefs to do? What do I think they'll do? I put myself in Brett Veach's shoes for a second. We'll talk about the Bengals being an absolute joke of the NFL. And it just so happens that Jamar Chase is the comedian. Can't wait to dive into that. Royals opening day. Can't talk about Kansas City and Brian's World without the Royals. Excuse me? Come on, man. Shout out to Bobby Witt Jr. I want to talk a little NBA playoffs too. Kansas City business. Brian David Platt, city manager of Kansas City. He's suspended. I got some thoughts about that. There's a lot of things I need to get into. Malik Yoba, the sad reality of Kanye West, and also having a conversation with Ebony Reed. She has her own day in Kansas City, and her book 15 Cents on Her Dollar is doing well. Plus, I definitely want to talk about some Therese Paylor memories right here on Brian's World. But first, let's start out with our Kansas City Chiefs. Not much to talk about with the Chiefs, except with the offseason moves that they've been, doing with the signings and everything. I've liked just about everything that they've done, including trading Joe Thuney. Can't keep two guards on the team paid that high in money. So, of course, the Chiefs in the middle trying to work out a long-term contract with Trey Smith. I just thought that they could draft another Trey Smith, but that's neither here nor there to this point. My favorite signing that the Chiefs have made in this offseason, Mike Pennell. I'm just saying, dog. I thought that Mike Pennell was a crucial part of this team whenever Chris Jones is not on the field. I just think that the Chiefs need to get a little tougher. Mike Pennell's probably, I don't know, I think he's one of the biggest dudes on the team. And I just did not want to take a risk in losing Mike Pennell. And you already losing, Derek Nottie, maybe for better. But you're already losing Derek Nottie. So you don't want to lose all of your D tackles. You're Treshaun Wharton. Of course, those who listen to this podcast know how much I love Treshaun Wharton and how much that I think he means to this team. So just you don't want to lose advanced pause. It's crazy when I have to give you an advanced pause. But I didn't want the Chiefs to lose that much beef.
Pause. That was crazy.
That's the best way I could put it, bro. On the inside. And I just thought that Mike Pennell, he really gave some teams some fits when it came to them trying to run the ball. Mike Pennell, you see on a lot of plays, he's in there, he's getting his nose dirty, and he's just a massive human being, dog. Just for the fact of everything else, he's just a big ass dude, and that's probably my favorite attribute that I like about Mike Pennell and what he brings to the team. So, and then I just want to go right into the draft with that, because I think that's where the Chiefs should continue to look for talent, is on the defensive line. First round pick, I don't know. I'll get to the first round pick in a second, but as far as what the Chiefs should do in the draft, they got to address that D-line. Okay, we signed a Charles Omenihu. He's back. But other than him and Chris Jones, when teams double team all the time, it's where else are we supposed to get a good pass rush from? Karlaftis, solid, but he's not a Bosa pass rusher. He's not a Myles Garrett pass rusher. And I'm not saying that you could just find those guys everywhere. But what I am saying is that the Chiefs need some pass rush help other than 90 and 95. But I guess like a Daniil Hunter or Will Anderson, a pass rush specialist per se. I don't think the Chiefs have one of those on the defense besides Charles Omenihu. So I'm looking at D line, offensive line too. We need guard help. Of course, we need tackle help as well. Jawan Taylor's contract, we don't know what that's going to look like and what they're going to do with him. A lot of people seem to think that the Chiefs are going to cut him. This might be his last year in Kansas City because his cap number is so big next year. So O-line, D-line, it might be a very boring draft for a lot of people because, you want to see skill position players sometimes. You like to see receivers and running back. Oh, that running back. Another place we got to address. Love the Elijah Mitchell signing. Probably my second favorite signing next to Mike Pennell. I love Elijah Mitchell. The Chiefs need some juice on this offense. Need some size on the defense. Need some size and some juice on the offensive line too. But running back, I wouldn't be surprised though. Look, Chiefs got the 31st pick. I would not be surprised if Veach went ahead and drafted a running back right there. Okay, yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't pan out, didn't work out. But I think now you're evaluating running backs a little differently. And I think back then Veach was looking for something in the passing game, somebody who Patrick can check it down to. You can screen game him. But now I think people are looking for the stud at running back now. For the first time in a long time, you got the running back getting noticed in the first round because of Saquon Barkley and all the other running backs in the NFL that's been, carrying their teams. Derrick Henry, is the running back is back, in my opinion, because the game has shifted. Yes, it's still a passing league. Don't get me wrong, but if you saw last year, scoring was down a little bit, but running was up. Just look around the league with the running backs that are doing their thing, and I think it's going to reflect that in the draft this year. I think teams are going to be trying to look for some studs at running back, and the Chiefs should be right there looking and searching. I love the running back room right now. It's fine. Kareem Hunt, Pacheco, Elijah Mitchell. But I guess Carson Steele, if you want to count him. But imagine the Chiefs with a Josh Jacobs. They're out there. But I love Pacheco, love him to death. Injuries happen, okay. And Elijah Mitchell, we know he's been injury prone as well. And he's not your every down back either. I see Elijah Mitchell kind of in that Jerick McKinnon role, screening, third down back, maybe spell Pacheco a little bit if you need maybe a big play here or there. Maybe you throw it to the running back with Elijah Mitchell out there. But the Chiefs, I wouldn't be surprised if they went running back. There's so many ways that they could go with that 31st pick in the first round. But I ultimately think because we are deprived of picks, of mid-round picks, those I'm seeing like it's a lot of starters in this draft. Not very many stars, but a lot of like great, solid, NFL type players in this draft. And the Chiefs are missing some picks in the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds too. So maybe you trade back, Veach, and snatch you a couple more picks for that first round pick that we have. So I think the Chiefs are in a solid position. I think everybody else, though, to be fair and to be honest, and I'm not one to give people accolades in the off season, because you haven't done anything. Nothing's been proven. You're just signing checks away. But I do think that the rest of the AFC has caught up a little bit with the Chiefs, including our friends in the AFC West. I think these signings have gotten these teams better. Denver's defense is going to be a problem this year. Najee Harris to the Chargers. That's a great matchup. Him and Harbaugh and the way that they run the ball and the way that their offense is constructed. I think they're going to be fine. Although they did get a little weaker on defense with Bosa leaving. But Harbaugh will make up for that. The Chargers are going to be tough to beat this year. The Raiders, they, got a new coach in there. They're going with Geno Smith. Now I don't see the Raiders being, super competitive, but they're going to be feisty and they're going to be tough to beat in some games. So the AFC West has caught up with the Chiefs a little bit, as well as the rest of the conference. Now, one team who think that they have caught up with the Chiefs, you got a little bit more running to do. And that is that team in Southern Ohio named the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, people are, giving them a parade. Matter of fact, they're giving themselves a parade on signing their own players back. And I'm just sitting here thinking, does that actually make the Bengals better?
Hell no!
No, it doesn't. Matter of fact, I will argue it's going to make you worse. Because that trash-ass defense that you marched out on the field every single week in 2024, that got roasted almost every single week in 2024, not only are you bringing those pieces back, but you're going to have a new defensive coordinator, one of your star players retired, and you're losing guys still on defense. You're not going to be able to sign anybody else to play on that defense because of these contracts that you gave to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow's cap number is outrageous as well. So that's why I think the Bengals are not going to be any better. They're going to be worse. And they're still going to start out slow and then cry at the end of the season as to why they didn't make the playoffs. Well, look what you're doing in the offseason. It's a running joke in Cincinnati, especially when your own receiver that you gave a Brinks truck to wants to talk shit on your own city.
For me, I like Cincinnati because it gives me the opportunity to come here and focus. I'm not distracted out here. It's not too many things to get me, off pace out here, and it's strictly what I'm focused on. That's really tunnel vision for me to play football. So, at the end of the day, the food's not the best. We could work on that, but I'm from New Orleans. I'm not used to the food yet. But, overall, honestly, I just think that's the biggest picture for me is that I don't have no distractions here, and I can just play football. And my quarterback's here. And T here.
So, basically, your best player on your team, your star wide receiver, says that your city's trash, there's nothing to do, it's boring, and your food's nasty. Hey, y'all know my history with Cincinnati. My wife is from there. Yeah, the food. I'll just say that similar to him being from New Orleans, I'm from Kansas City, and their cooking just ain't hitting how Kansas City's cooking is. I'm not saying that Cincinnati's food as a whole is nasty. That chili is. It's not good chili. I make way better chili at home in my own kitchen. But as a whole, yeah, KC, I can only speak for KC. We dominating Cincinnati for food. Why you think my wife married me? Not for me. It's for the food in Kansas City. Jokes aside. No, jokes. But yeah, man, the Bengals got worse. I wouldn't be surprised if they went 6-11, but they got 8-9 and 9-8 written all over them for the next several years. And I'm gonna tell you this right now: they're gonna trade one of those receivers within the next 2 years because the contracts are gonna be too big, and they're gonna realize that this shit is not working.